Good day everyone, welcome back to the channel. Scotty RFD here. Today we have a very special super duper bike. The 2022 Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX SE. Here behold you, we have the wonderful green and black color scheme, a little bit of gray in the bottom there. Not too bad, not too bad. This model being supercharged. Horsepower 197. This will knock your socks off, folks. I'm going to list off a couple specs right now because there are so many to do that I don't think I can remember them through the ride. So let's get into really quickly. We've got big M50 monoblock calipers from Brembo up front, 320mm disc. We've got cornering lights coming very much handy when you're riding in the dark. Single bulb headlight, which looks good. I like the design overall. Also a Brembo Master up on the bars here. Seat height 835mm. We have a new seat this year, wider, cushier, leaner. Maybe the passenger will have something to say about her seat. We'll give or take that. Trellis frame down the bottom, 6-speed transmission, quick shifter comes as standard. Single canister exhaust. It's massive. And we come to the front here. We have a 6.5-inch TFT display with all the goodies on this. Just look at that thing. Start up. And we have another door. Look at that. Brilliant. Not sure where I'd mount something on here, as we have clip-on bars and the windscreen and nothing else. Asking and or I should say starting price for this sort of super bike, 31,000, just over 31,000 Canadian dollars, which is a lot of money. But hopefully during this ride and review, we will show you it's worth every little penny. Enough talk, let's get on the ride. All right, folks, 2022 Kawasaki. Oh no, my helmet's undone.
1 hour later.
We're back. Good? Okay everyone, 2022 Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX SE Supercharged. That's quite the mouthful to do. Hey, skater boy on the road, that's interesting. Okay, oh man, where to even start with this bike? What an incredible machine, incredible piece of masterwork. As I said before, Kawasaki's thrown every bit of kit into this bike. I'm surprised it doesn't have a remote start or it can park itself. Up front we've got fully electronic adjustable suspension. I think it's semi-automatic too, as I read in some of the things on Kawasaki's website. So as say we're in road mode right now and we're going through a corner, it adapts and changes to the road and conditions, the lean angle, everything. So it's constantly working out charts and spreadsheets of how can we make this a better experience, a safer ride, an all-around good time. It is quite the crafty thing. 320mm rotors up front with those I mentioned before, big block 50 monoblock Brembo calipers, 4-piston calipers, and the rear we've got a 260mm rotor with a single pot caliper, I believe. I don't think it's Brembo, I think it's Nissan, so we've gone with the expensive stuff up front, normal stuff in the back, which is okay, but this is a special bike, so I think it deserves the Brembo treat. Also to mention on the bike, some key highlighted features. We've got adaptive cruise control, which is something very cool. Something, I mean, good on the long rides, but short rides I don't think we'll be using too much, but we'll definitely try it out in this review. We've also got lane, what is it? No, not lane departure, but blind spot warning. In the mirrors you'll see a bit of a triangle. I don't know if you can see it here when the truck passes. Nope. But there's a sensor in the back. It senses when there's a car coming up, so I think it's definitely helpful. And you know, you'll be riding along traffic or just in general, and you know, sometimes you'll look behind you, you check your mirrors, everything's good, but maybe it won't be, and there'll be a car or something just crossed over and you won't notice. This thing actually lets you know whether it's there or not. Very cool. Up on the bars here, clip-on bars, very comfortable as they're got a bit of a riser to them, which is nice. All your features, we'll start over. We've got a nice switch gear for the turning the bike on. We've got a Brembo master cylinder up on the bars here, which is nice that they went with that. That's not adjustable, but your clutch lever is. But you won't be using much of a clutch on this bike as it's got a quick shifter up and down. Mwah, mwah. Music to my ears on this thing. It works very well. All electronic, so does stumble, like I said before with the 1000 SX review video I did before. Lower speeds, bogginess, it does fumble a bit, but the higher speeds, the more aggressive you are, the better it works. Super, super enjoyable. Also, we've got switch gear over here for your high beams, your flash to pass. We've got your different riding modes like we've gone over before on other Kawasaki bikes. The same thing, they have not changed anything on this. Hold up for, we'll do it in a little bit, but hold the button up, it goes into different mode. Hold the button down, different mode as well. But also, this arrow here, I don't know if you can see that or not, allows you to sense and check your menus on this beautiful 6.5-inch TFT color display. I think it suits very well. I don't think they should have gone any bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, but I know there's a lot of lights outside this little box here which have many good things about them, so definitely appropriate screen to have. Also, this bike has collision warning. If it senses you're coming up onto someone, which you probably will in this bike given how fast it is, it will let you know. A bunch of red lights will pop up on the dash and say, start blinking, you're coming up to a person too fast, please back off, please slow down, for the love of God. And your normal toggle switches, turn signals, 4 ways. This is just your back button for all your menus and stuff like that. And I think that about does it, other than your keyless go. This is kind of a neat feature here. Your keyless go, basically, once it's off, press it down, it turns the bike on like you would as a car or any normal other vehicle, and then crank it over, put your switch down, you're good to go, start the bike up. Your fob stays with you in your pocket, obviously. I would suggest always keeping your pocket, not on the bike. And moving on to the dash, we've got many things, many displays. What's really cool, as I mentioned already, the electronic suspension, you can set whether you have a passenger or not. So look at that, down here in the screen I've got a passenger plus luggage. This spec did not come with the saddlebag, so I was kind of surprised they didn't do that, but here we are nevertheless. But no saddlebag, so there's no way to put the feature without the baggage, but you do have an option for the passenger. So that sets up the suspension and everything for the extra weight. So a very cool thing, and obviously you can always customize things as you go through your modes and selective riding aids. You can hook it up to the Rideology app from Kawasaki and customize it that way as well. Set your GPS, set your specs of what you want for that day. There's lots to choose from, super easy to do, and it's got the great connectivity. On the side over here you've got a boost gauge, very, very cool, and you've got a throttle response, so it just gives you kind of a, you know, general idea of how much boost you're using. You also got your trusty eco-friendly button, or eco-friendly light. Not sure how great it is. Surprisingly, on this 19-liter fuel tank, I've sucked through the fuel like nobody's business. It's I guess it's to be expected, rummaging around here on the back roads, but I'm sure when you're cruising along doing lots of miles, you'll have a more tamed attitude towards things and not be so rambunctious with the throttle. Oh, it's a little jerky, but that's low speed. I'm not giving it too much throttle because I want to talk and I don't want all the air noise. Also, we've got our odometer, we've got our temperature of the bike, we've got the degrees outside, we've got our battery voltage and the time. I think you can scroll through this. So no, you just can select them as we go. So I'm pressing that, it's going through the motions of all these, and you can go back down as well. So they mentioned the seat was new for this year, I believe, and it is pretty comfy. The pegs sit up fairly high, but the seat being a bit wider in the back gives you lots of comfort. Even with the passenger on right now, I don't hardly ever notice her, and super, super comfy. The bike does get a little bit hot. It's not that hot out right now, thankfully, but you know, that supercharger carries a lot of heat with it. I remember coming back from the Kawasaki corporate headquarters, and my legs were on fire. Fire was happening down there, not the good kind of fire. I need to stop, drop, and roll off this thing. So far, very comfortable ride, very easy to ride. This bike does weigh in at about just shy, I believe, of 600 pounds. I think north of 500. And definitely you'll feel it pushing around the garage. It's, you know, a bit girthy and very wide-ish too, especially with the mirrors. I do have to fold them in before I take liberty of putting things away. But once you're up and riding, it's a nice, easy bike to flick around with. The Supercharger does sound interesting. I mean, low down, it kind of sounds like a bit of a sewing machine. Once you get up in the revs, it sounds good. That's all I can say. It just sounds really good. Alright, well, now we got a bit of a straight roll here. Let's try out the cruise control. So we're gonna set it. We've got our notions for how far we want to be away. I preset that already, but I can show you later on. And let's just set it and forget it. Here we go. Oh, I wonder what it attacked. And then again, we can go faster if we want. And then we can slow back down to... Ooh, you do feel the engine braking on this, I'll tell you what. It's, again, engine braking is adjustable. You can have it super heavy or super light, whatever you want. Let's cancel this cruise control because we've got a bit of a corner coming up. We want to feel a little bit of this bike. Even though its limits are way higher than I can do. But very much enjoyable. For the average rider, you are going to get a kick out of this thing. It's just expensive. That's all. But for the bike, it should be. I'm not... it's a lot of bike. A lot of bike for the price, which I can't afford, but I can only dream of. One day. Oh, this feels great, honestly. I'm gonna go past our little bump here as usual and watch the birds. And we're in fifth and the gas light's coming on. Oh well. Again, I'm taking it easy. Passenger on board. But everything feels very nice up here. Having the bar risers, the bar's a little higher. It doesn't feel as sport bike. You are in a aggressive position, being sport touring. But it's, you know, it's comfy. I'm not complaining. Ooh, we're gonna get a good... Gonna have to fill up some gas very soon. Now and then you can just hear the whine of that supercharger. It sounds delicious. It sounds so good. Oh man, what a thrill to be on, honestly. I'm so happy we still make these kind of bikes. And if you're lucky enough, you get to ride one, and it's just something else, let me tell you. Brakes are very good. I don't know if I mentioned that, but the brakes, you can just two-finger that all day and you'll have all the stopping power you need. It is funny to me how easy it is to ride on a daily basis. It just makes it easy. I think it's a really good thing. The mirrors are good. Also, a little bit of my arm in there. I would have thought, being so far away, like the 1000 SX Ninja, they'd be okay too, but they are getting a little bit of my arm on both mirrors too, not just the one either, so you can still see a bunch. I can't get over how easy this bike is to ride, honestly. It's like mind-boggling. My wrist did hurt a little bit after the first ride, but again, I don't ride sport bikes too often. But second day, I was completely good. I was fine. I was ready to tear up the tarmac again. And this isn't even an aggressive riding stance whatsoever. I put it up to a friend's sport bike, and his is way down. He's like where this fairing ends, way down here. We're gonna report back at the fuel station, see how much he takes. Check back in a few. And as I said before, the keyless fob with the interchain key for your fuel. So here we go. Just ooh, look at that suction in there. She laughed, that's all I wanted. Prepay. what that is. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's get some premium. 224, good, good. Wouldn't have it any other way. Alright, see how much he takes to fill up, folks.
Your first time filling up this?
Yeah.
Any guesses?
I think it's gonna be like 30 bucks.
Okay, well don't look. Guess.
Maybe 35. My Triumph is like 20 now, so it's a 19-liter tank.
Any guesses?
I said, like 30 to 35.
No, pick a number.
$32.
Okay.
What do you got? Oh yeah, you're looking already.
I'm looking at it, obviously.
Okay, what do we got? And 30. Whoa! Look at that. Changed it up last minute. $32.98, $1 off. Do I win both showcases, Bob?
Oh my God.
That's pretty good. I don't want the receipt. Wow. All right. 32 bucks, people. That way we got us 14 liters. We had 3 liters left. We could have kept on trucking. And all right. And let's get on.
Comfortable back seat.
So reviews are in. The seat's good.
Like the height in my
Oh, the height isn't it. We'll talk about it later. I'll preview. Anyways, it does change color as the night gets on, which is cool to see. Okay, folks, so we finally got some daylight back in our day. Take 2. We ran a little short on that last night, so we'll take it from the top, I hope. I'm not sure exactly where I left off, but I believe I had a passenger on the back of the bike at the time, and I've got some good but bad news. I'll start with the bad and with the good. Unfortunately, she said that the height and where she was perched up on the back seat was a bit too much for her. She felt like she was just, you know, up too high, up over myself, and got a lot of the wind, debris, and everything, and she had a real hard time kind of like ducking down to where I was, as I'm sitting a lot lower than she is. So a bit of a knock there, but you know, I'm sure you maybe get around it somehow. However, the good news, she said the seat was very comfortable. I'm not sure if they changed the rear passenger seat when they changed or redid the front seat, driver's seat, but it was very comfortable, very good place to sit on. Just position wise, not so good. And riding kind of in the mid-dark yesterday definitely opened me up. The dash, as you see here, does change color. At nighttime it goes black, daytime obviously is the white, but it's a very good looking dash, either or. I would have it anyway. The black, I believe you could actually adjust it to be white or black all the time as your preference. What a bike, honestly. I mean, I can't say enough. And this, like, bikes seem to just keep getting better and better. So before I set off, I actually still had it in the 2-passenger mode, and once I switched it to the single passenger mode, I'm not sure you can see it on the dash, but after that you can actually feel the electronic suspension soften up to give more cushion for the single person rider now that we're in road mode. And thinking that and thinking back to my ride last night, it's such a eerie but cool feeling that the bike does, where it's changing parameters and geometry and all those sorts of things as you're cruising along. The road conditions change and doing all the work for you, and it's just so impressive. I mean, my gosh, to think of, you know, maybe I'll do a few thousand miles on this bike one day and it's going to be such a great ride. I mean, you're just going to be posed, relaxed. Having the clip-on bars makes it a lot more livable, and again, all the amenities on this does make everything a lot more enjoyable. And needless to say, if that doesn't do it for you, I'm sure the supercharged inline 4 nearly 200 horsepower engine will do something for you. I'm sold. I'm sold. Take my money, Kawasaki. If I had that much money to spend on a bike, you can take it all day. I would have it 100%. It's gonna be tough to give this bike back, I'll tell you. Lots of traffic on the way, but it is that time of day. Go closer. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I don't know if you can see that in the camera there, but the orange triangle is just lit up. So maybe depending on where you are and how fast the person's coming up behind you or with you, might be definitely something to see, but nothing keeps you safe, that's for sure. See if we can test out the cruise control. Let's see. We got it set. Oh yeah, look at that. So we're slowly slowing down for the car in front of us. I think I've got it set to a medium-ish. But yeah, it's doing its thing. It's awesome. I just relax, take it easy. So that's kind of cool. So once you're on the throttle, it cancels the cruise out at the time while you're, you know, going up. And then once you let off, it goes back into its cruise mode. We can also go into some rider modes, I believe. Holding, holding, holding. Oh, there it goes. Oh, wow. So we're in rain mode now. It's definitely laggy. Like there's, compared to what it was, not much is going on there. Okay, let's get it back into road. Okay, road again, that's good. That wasn't too bad. Let's see what sport mode's got to offer. Oh. Yeah, it's fast. Jeez. That just pulls like no tomorrow. The race mode? There's no race mode. That's okay. Well, we'll keep it in sport mode for the time being. That's alright. This is probably the first and ever bike that I've ever had that you get up to a certain speed and it just keeps pulling and pulling. Like the supercharger is just a wondrous thing on a motorcycle. My gosh. I'm going to find somewhere to pull over real quick. We'll go over the bike and we'll say our goodbyes. Catch you in a few. Okay everyone, let's say our goodbyes. It might be a tear-jerker, but we have to give this bike back, unfortunately. It has been fantastic over the course of the week, and this bike is not disappointed in any area that I can really see or even foresee. Rode at night, the turn signal lamps, corner lamps, definitely help out huge. I mean, from not having them to having them, it's honestly a game changer. Brakes were incredible the whole time, never faded. Power was just outstanding. The quick shifter, elegant yet graceful. But anyways, I can't thank you enough for joining me on this little weekly adventure, trying out new bikes. The Supercharged 2022 Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX SE. And we're signing out. So thanks for tuning in, and like and subscribe. I've got more videos to come, and I hope you enjoyed your time here on this presentation. I'll call it that for now. Anyways, signing out. Cheers. Take care, everyone. Bye.